Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Becoming Cleo. I am so excited that you're here. Today, I want to talk about the fact that I am writing a book, okay? I'm writing a book. And this is something that has been in the works for such a long time. Like when I tell you guys, like 6+ years. And we're going to get into all of that. But for those of you who don't know, I am a writer. I'm a poet. I have always loved writing since I was young. I think like first or second grade, I remember writing like short stories, poems. In high school, I wrote fan fiction. I have like chapters on chapters on chapters of like books that I wrote. And I literally always loved writing and being a writer. It's something that I have wanted to do like as a career and as like a passion to pursue it since forever. And I haven't always been like an active writer. Like while I'm still a writer, I don't always be writing, but I just be thinking about writing sometimes. You know, like if you're a writer or if you're an artist, like, you know, sometimes you just gotta think about, it. But anyway, I currently have a newsletter on Substack that I'm in the process of revamping. I'll link that below in the description so you guys can take a look at that. I remember when I was younger, like one of the things that I've always wanted to be was a writer. I was like, I'm gonna write a book, go on a book tour, and then I'm going to like sign all the books. And then when I got older and I discovered Alex Elle, who's someone that I really like and look up to, I think I talked about her in another video. I decided that I still want to write, go on book tours, but I eventually want to like facilitate like writing and poetry workshops and get more into that space. And then locally, where I live in San Diego, I've been trying to get more into like the open mic, writers, creatives, artist space, because I feel like if I surround myself with people that want to do what I want to do, it'll kind of just help motivate me. So I've really been trying to get back into this like creative space, especially as it comes to like doing YouTube and writing and all those things. So let's just get right into it. Me wanting to write a book is not a new thing. And I think it was like in 2018, I decided that I was going to publish this like poetry book that I wrote, and it was going to be called Everything is Nice in Theory. I remember I had like the logo picked out for it. It was like a turtle and a butterfly, and that was in 10th grade. My English teacher was like, if you were an animal, what animal best like describes you? And for me, I was like, I'm a butterfly who's like presenting as a turtle, because like I'm shy, but once I like get out of my shell, then I blossom and I become a butterfly. And so if I could find a picture of what the logo for the book is supposed to look like, I will pop it in right here so you guys can take a look. But in 2018, I had this idea to write a poetry book. I had about like 50 to 60 pieces of different poems that I was going to put in the book, and then I just stopped. Like I think I stopped writing. I stopped trying to write a book, and I was just like, you know what? We'll get to this later, because sometimes I feel like when life comes, you've got these priorities, these obligations, you got your day job, just this whole list of different things that come with being an adult, that you kind of put some things on the back burner. And so now, like I mentioned, I'm trying to get more into the creative space, especially locally. I felt like now was just a really good time to pick back up this idea of writing a book. So when I went back to the book that I was going to write in 2018, I felt like the book that I want to write today in 2024 is not the book that I wanted to write in 2018. Like it just doesn't feel like relatable to me anymore. Like I'm just not in that season or in that space in my life to where those things are relevant. And so with this new book, I think that I'm just going to start all over, not even try to use the same title that I have, the same logo. Like I think I'm just going to start from scratch, and if some of the pieces fit within what I'm writing, I think maybe that I'll use them. But for the most part, I'm going to be starting fresh. And I want to do things differently. So like when I was writing back then, I was using my computer to like type up poems, and I would like sit in the dark, you know, and just like write and have things come to me. And I think that worked for me back then. The person that I am today, writing in the dark, I can do. But now I feel like I'll get distracted on the laptop. So I got this journal right here I'm going to be using to like jot down poems and ideas and things that come to mind with the books. And so far, what I've written down is just like the idea of how I want my book to go. I'm thinking right now it's going to be like a beginning, middle, and end setup, to the point where it's like poems about early life, poems about like the middle of my life and then like the current ones. I think if I kind of do it in chronological order like that, then give me structure, and it'll also like help me to tell the story that I want to tell. And not only that, I also have like themes that I wrote down that I want to be present throughout this book. So I want this book to be about community, and I want people to, when they read this book, to be in community with other people. Another thing that I wrote down is legacy. And when I think about writing a book and publishing it out and publishing it and putting it out there into like the world, into the universe, I think of this as like something to leave behind that people can remember me by. Whether you knew me or you knew me by my writing, I feel like it's just a great way to leave something behind, something to give back, and something that can keep on giving and giving. So definitely legacy is like going to be a huge theme throughout this book. Ancestors, so just like paying homage to the people that came before me, and also the people that have the gift of writing that they have passed down to me. Plant care, I think plants are a huge part of my life, and I want to include them in this book. Self-confidence, lessons, storytelling, and then also like silent generation. I don't know, like I kind of was just like writing whatever came down to my, and I have like little bits and pieces and ideas as to like what some of these themes mean to me. And then other themes, I don't know yet. I kind of just have like a vision for it, and it's like it's being put together, but it's not quite there yet. So since I'm writing this book and I'm in the early stages, it'll be also really important to read poetry collections by authors that I love, that I admire, whose work I like. And so I'm going to show you guys some of those books as well. The first book is Black Girl Call Home by Jasmine Mans. I have been a huge Jasmine Mans fan since like I think high school. I have always loved and admired her work, and so this I think is her second poetry collection, and I haven't read all of it yet. I've been slowly but surely getting into it, and she's literally one of the writers that has like inspired me with my writing. And this book, Black Girl Call Home, is a love letter to the wandering Black girl and a vital companion to any woman on a journey to find truth, belonging, and healing. The next book is Helium by Rudy Francisco, who's actually from San Diego. I think I've been like following his writing journey since high school. And Helium is a poetry collection that is simultaneously personal, political. It's a blending of love poems, self-reflection, and a biting cultural critique on class, race, and gender. This book is called Bless the Daughter Raised by the Voice in Her Head by Warsan Shire. If you don't know who this is, she did the poetry on Beyonce's Lemonade album, which is like one of my favorite albums ever, because just like the artistry on that. I have been loving her work since Beyonce's album, and this is actually her first full collection of poems. I think I just got this one like late last week, so I haven't really had a chance to dive into it yet. But if you've listened to Lemonade and you've heard like the poetry on there, it's by her, y'all. She does really amazing work. In her book, it has poems about migration, womanhood, trauma, and resilience celebrated. So each of these poets has a very different writing style from one another, but they're all poets that I feel like I really love their work. Also just like inspired me as a poet and as a writer. So have also just like inspired my writing on this journey. So now I feel like that I have publicly put it out there that I'm writing a book. This is for, obviously, like I said, documentation purposes, but it's also to hold myself accountable, because I don't want to look back at like 2030 or 2040 and be like, yeah guys, I'm still writing that book. Like I want y'all to see this, and then let's say like a year, 2 years, however long, because I don't know how long it's going to take me from now, I actually have the book and I can like share it with you guys, and you guys can be in community with me like through this book. So I'm really excited to get this process started. I think for me this time around, this is going to be really different. I really just have to commit to writing the book. And that's actually part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, so you guys can be like, hey girl, like you haven't talked about your book in a while. Are you still writing it? Like, don't be afraid to comment on my video like, hey, you haven't talked about it in a while. because I do need the accountability. I'm writing a book with the goal that it will one day be published and I can share it with you all. But yeah, you guys heard it here first. So like I said, I do have a Substack that has some of my writing on there. I will link that below in the description so you guys can take a look at that. This video was more of one of the like raw chit chat, like unedited type of videos, because sometimes I just want to like talk to y'all and not just like share what's on my mind and share what's on my heart and not necessarily have a script. So if you are feeling the way that this video went and you like the style of it, also let me know that below in the comments. But until then, I thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to connect with me across all socials at Becoming Cleo, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.